You're pushing hard, you're hitting walls, and honestly, you're exhausted. You look at your goals and think, I need a massive breakthrough. I need to blow up my entire business model and start over. We've all been there, that feeling that only a giant, heroic effort can fix your current challenges. But that belief, that need for a revolution, that is the single biggest trap that causes burnout and leads to inconsistent results. The truth is, you don't need a massive breakthrough. You need a simple, strategic evolution. The most successful companies on the planet and the most consistently high-performing people don't rely on massive, sporadic leaps of genius. They rely on constant, almost invisible progress. This is the bedrock philosophy of Kaizen, an ancient Japanese concept that simply means change for the better. It's a relentless commitment to iterating every single day. Today, I'm breaking down the 5 essential principles of Kaizen you can immediately implement to stop spinning your wheels, stop waiting for genius, and start building unstoppable, automatic momentum. 1. Focus on the process, not just the result. The first principle requires a brutal shift in perspective. Stop checking the scoreboard. Your results are simply the lagging indicator of your process. If your revenue is down, your health is suffering, or your productivity is shot, don't just stare at those numbers and panic. You have to look at the process that times created times those numbers. If you're only focused on the outcome, you're managing symptoms. Kaizen demands you put your energy into optimizing the input. For example, if you want to write a book, stop stressing about the final word count. Instead, improve the process. Maybe that's ensuring your phone is off for 90 minutes every morning, or maybe it's perfecting the organizational system you use to store your notes. Fix the process, and the results take care of themselves. The outcome is 8 times gift, times from a great process. 2. Ruthlessly eliminate waste. Kaizen is famous for its focus on removing what the Japanese call times muda asterisk, or waste. We often think improvement means adding something, a new app, a new employee, a new course. But the fastest way to get better is usually to identify and cut out the non-value-added activities. Ask yourself right now, where are you busy but not productive? Are you attending meetings that could have been an email? Are you endlessly scrolling social media between tasks, completely fracturing your deep work? Are you constantly hunting for files because your digital organization is a mess? Muda is anything that consumes time, energy, or resources without moving you closer to your goal. The minute you remove the waste, you free up the necessary energy to make genuine improvements. 3. Embrace the 1% rule. This is where Kaizen gets its power. We are constantly seeking the 10x improvement, but what if I told you that seeking 10x is actually anti-Kaizen? When you try to make a massive jump, the effort is often unsustainable. The 1% rule is simple. Only aim to be 1% better today than you were yesterday. That improvement might be tiny. Maybe you reduce the time it takes to file a report by 2 minutes. Maybe you only allowed yourself 1 check of your personal email during work hours instead of 10. These 1% gains compound exponentially. If you get 1% better every day for a year, you're 37 times better than when you started. That is the true physics of improvement. It's not about intensity. It's about consistency. 4. Go to the Gemba. In manufacturing, Gemba means the actual place. It's the philosophy that you cannot solve a problem from behind a desk looking at a spreadsheet. You have to go to the actual site where the work is happening. For your personal and professional life, this means stopping the mental analysis and actually observing your behavior. If you feel like you're constantly distracted, stop guessing why. Go observe your actual workday without judgment. Where do you falter? What environment triggers poor decisions? If your team isn't communicating, don't just send another memo, sit in on the communication flow. Stop interpreting data from a distance. Go look at the reality on the ground. The solution is almost always visible when you're standing in the Gemba. 5. Standardize your gains. The biggest mistake people make after finding a successful change is that they let it slide back into old habits. Kaizen is a cycle, and the final critical step is standardization. Once you identify a better way of doing something, that new, better way immediately becomes the times new minimum standard asterisk. If you found that turning off notifications for 2 hours dramatically improved your output, you don't treat that as a nice thing I tried last Tuesday. You write it down, you institutionalize it, you build a system around it to make regression almost impossible. Standardization locks in your progress and ensures you're not starting from scratch tomorrow. It gives you a rock-solid foundation from which to launch the next time's 1% improvement. Look, intensity fades, but momentum lasts. Kaizen isn't the flashiest philosophy, but it is the most effective. It tells you that success isn't a destination you arrive at through one heroic, all-nighter effort, but a never-ending journey of small, smart, disciplined corrections. Stop waiting for the genius idea. Start perfecting the process you already have today. If this idea of continuous, small improvement hit home for you, make sure you smash that like button and tell me in the comments below, what 1% change are you committing to making in your process today? Let's hold each other accountable. Subscribe for more deep dives into building a high-performance mindset, and I'll catch you in the next video.